The latest move in the ongoing West Bonner County School District is put on pause. Just this past week, the school board's agenda caught a lot of eyes online. It detailed a push to dissolve the school board and pass the meeting over to Superintendent Brandon Durst for him to nominate and elect a new chairman of his choice. We haven't reported that meeting because it never happened. The court stepped in the day of the meeting to stop the board meeting itself, which is now a good reason to bring in Andrew Bartline to catch us up on this months-long back and forth. Andrew, I know our viewers have been very interested in the saga at West Bonner.
Yeah, well, the court stopped that board meeting through a temporary restraining order. Priest River-based lawyer Katie Elsasser, filed the complaint on behalf of two people and, quote, collectively on behalf of the 1,386 voters who voted in favor of that recall. The current board right now is a lame duck because after voters resoundingly voted to out two of the 5 board members, their removal from the board is not officially confirmed until Thursday, a couple days from now. That is directly from the Secretary of State's office, I should say. And even for people who have followed this closely from the beginning, we need to go back to the beginning to give some context here. So that would be the fact that the West Bonner School District has had 4 superintendents in about a year. They followed that by offering the role to Brandon Durst. He would be the 5th in that timeline, despite his closest resume line to the job being a substitute teacher, developing curriculum at a community college. This was back in June. So by the end of that month, I should say, West Bonner residents had seen enough. They took 2 weeks to gain enough signatures to spark a recall election for the 2 people you see here, specifically to unseat Chair Keith Rutledge and Vice Chair Susan Brown. They both voted in favor of hiring Durst, though the recall petition did not name that as a specific reason, rather another list, longer ongoing complaints. The petitioners and all accused both trustees of not having the educational welfare of the students as their first and foremost greatest concern. The recall election took place on August 29th, where nearly 5 times more people voted in the recall election than the election that put these people in office in the first place. You can see right there, 66%, a supermajority, 63%. Both were sufficient enough to out them both, and you can see the results right there. But a mere 2 days later, the district posted an agenda for a Friday board meeting. The agenda stated the intention to dissolve the current school board of trustees, a board that still carries the votes of those 2 recalled trustees. Remember, they're not officially removed from the board until Thursday. So the tactic is clear. If you don't like the vote of the people, demolish the institution instead, which brings us to where we are now. That temporary restraining order that stopped this board meeting prohibits that lame duck board from any financial or contractual obligations. Well, here's the complaint specifically, and it says agenda items are for the sole benefit of an individual, recalled trustees, not the district. Further says actions threaten to subvert the results of lawful election results. So the complaint also details concerns about special meeting violations, Joe, creating problems that cannot be fixed, loss of money for the district as well. So, Joe, a hearing is set on September 12th to look into this specifically, this complaint, I should say. The restraining order, rather. It is now a restraining order. It's been signed by a judge. But by the 12th, it'll be rendered moot because on Thursday, when it goes through, they're off the board. So the complaint's concerns are met at that point. So it blocked this entirely.
So for folks that are kind of keeping an eye on this and following, I guess, is the 7th coming up on Thursday? Is that really the next big date in this saga?
Yeah, because at that point, it won't be a lame duck board anymore. The people who have been recalled and ousted from the board by the voters, well, they'll no longer be on it. And that's the big concern about this, is pushing forward, doing more work with people who voters say they don't want them there.
And we also know, the school year is underway, of course, across the state of Idaho. So it'll be interesting to see how the school district kind of navigates all of this while they're doing the school year business. Andrew, I know that you kind of highlighted this through your entire report here, that this is a complicated and winding story. So folks, if you want to read more, if you missed anything, you want to double read on it, you can go to our website, ktvb.com, on the 208 section. We've got a lot of reporting from Brian Holmes and Andrew Bartline on the situation up there in West Bonner. Andrew, thank you for the report. We'll keep an eye on this one.